WRSR, Owasso, Flint. The following program has been pre-recorded and is paid for by Discover Flint Township. The views expressed are those of Discover Flint Township and do not necessarily reflect the views of 103.9 The Fox or Krill Communications, Inc. Welcome to Discover Flint Township, a program showcasing our local community. Flint Township is ready for your next move. And now, your host, Flint Township Economic Enhancement Director, Tracy Tucker.
I'm Tracy Tucker, and this is Discover Flint Township, brought to you by Flint Township Economic Development Authorities, HAP, Financial Plus Credit Union, and Shea Automotive Group, along with 103.9 The Fox. This morning, we're speaking with Stacy and McKenzie from Shea Automotive Group, and they have a special guest with them today. Hey, Stacy and McKenzie, how's it going?
Hi, Tracy.
Hi, how are you?
I feel like I'm miles away from you. I feel like I'm yelling at you.
Just a little bit.
So you have a special guest today.
Yes.
So I'm going to kind of step back and let you guys interview and introduce your new guest. Have
Perfect.
a great time.
Awesome. Thank you, Tracy. Yes, so today we have the owner and founder of Snuggle Sacks, Stacy Dahl. Stacy, welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, Stacy, it's so nice to see you again. I know it's been a while, so I'm so happy to have you here.
Yes, thanks.
Now, tell us a little bit about Snuggle Sacks. What's going on? What's new with you guys right now?
Sure, yeah. So Snuggle Sacks is actually a nonprofit founded by my children. They call me their momager. But it's about 6 years. Next month will be our 6-year anniversary of Snuggle Sacks. And it's a nonprofit for the homeless and those in need. So just a quick recap of it. My kids actually met my dad about 6 years ago, and we had found out I'd been estranged from him for about 15 years, and we found out he had been homeless for 6 years. Wow. So really just, with kids, obviously they're very formidable at that age and whatnot, so they really just took it to heart, and just hearing some stories. And my kids actually grew up right here in Flint Township as well, so homelessness was something we saw, but I regret to say now in retrospect, we were just that busy family and would drive by it. And then, of course, once it hit you personally, it kind of changes your outlook on it. So the kids kept coming to me and their dad and saying, we want to help the homeless. We want to do something. We just finally said, you guys figure it out. You do your research and see what you want to do, and we'll make it happen somehow.
And how old were your kids at that
time?
At
that time, gosh, they were 8, 10, and 12.
Wow.
Yeah, right.
Right. Okay,
so,
resourceful.
right, yeah. So that's what they did. They came to us with the, they'd found these blessing bag idea on Pinterest or something. And so we kind of wrote down 20 items that would be helpful to the homeless that we could start collecting. Aww. And threw it out on social media, the power of social media. And before we knew it, we had enough stuff delivered to us or on our porch for about 30 bags. So we just kind of made them and got some donations around and delivered our first 30 to the North End Soup Kitchen here in Flint. But before we knew it, every day we'd get home, there was a little bit more on the porch and a little bit more. So we would say run to the store and buy applesauce just to make a complete sack. And it just kept growing and growing. And my kids are very blessed. I've been in marketing my whole career. So they were blessed to, have a lot of friends and what they call aunts and uncles in the industry that got them on the radio or on TV. And then before we knew it, somebody had called into the radio and paid for them to become a nonprofit. They covered our legal costs to do that.
Wow.
So, I mean, I hate to say it, but kind of the rest is history. It just grew and grew and grew. They now partner with about 37 shelters in the state of Michigan, including soup kitchens and churches. They do about 1,200 sacks a month, and each sack now has evolved to include 40 items for the homeless. So everything from toiletries to food and snacks, a blanket, socks,
and you
water.
You have different snacks for males and females, correct?
We do. The sacks are color coded, so we do put like gender specific socks and gloves and whatnot in each sack. So we do that. The women's sacks include hygiene items, feminine products, and then we also have them for kids. And in those, we try to put a toy of some sort in each one. And we put a word of hope card in there, and it's aimed also at the kids and adults, but just kind of some inspiring messages, and then of course a resource card for where they can find other resources they may need.
That's so awesome. And now your youngest is the one who named the organization, correct?
She is. She's considered the founder, actually. When all this started, the older two were in travel sports, so Addison kind of took it under her wing and went with it. And the premise of Snuggle Sacks, it's funny, it's such an innocent name now. She was only 8 when she started this, but it's really stuck, so it just stays that way. But when she was little, we always would tell her before bed it was snuggle time. So she came to us and she said, "Mom, everybody deserves loves and snuggles." Aww. So she wanted to give them a snuggle sack instead of a blessing bag. So
I like it. I like it. Okay, so tell us a little bit about what's new. What's new going on?
What's new?
Creation?
Snuggle Sacks in 2021 has moved. So we were very blessed the last couple years. We had a space in Fenton. We rented the other half of the animal health clinic building, and
that's where we were, right, McKenzie?
Yeah. Okay. You guys visited us there a few times. But the vet that loaned us that is setting up for retirement. So it was time for us to move on, and we actually just got a building in downtown Linden a few months ago now. It's gone by quick. But they've got, and it's about double the size, so they've got a lot more options. But what's really unique about it is it's actually a retail space as well. So, they've been able to start a new venture, actually, because donations in 2021 were down about 80%. Sure. So, in all honesty, about November of 2020, we were really considering having to shut down and whatnot. And we just, it's so crazy. As the last 6 years, whenever we get to a point of either running out of something we need or funds are down or whatever it might be, God just steps in some crazy way, and we're able to keep going. And that's exactly what happened in 2021. So
amazing. Now, so I remember when I was at your old place in Fenton, and you had, all of these things stacked up and, ready to build the sacks, if you will. So is there anything specific you're looking for right now? Is there anything that you find, through the pandemic that you've really run short that you need? And can people still, not to ask you too many questions once, but can people still go to that location in Linden and drop off 100 deodorants if they want? Or how does it work? Give us the rules and regulations at this point.
Right. Well, you can find a lot of information on our website as far as drop-off locations. We have about 30 in Genesee County, 30 businesses that are always drop-off locations, and a list of all the items. snugglesacks.org.
Okay.
And on there, again, you can find a complete list of every item that goes in the sack, but something we're always running low on are the snacks. Obviously, there's a shelf life to them. But anything from applesauce to granola bars and raisins and the ramen noodle cups, those are huge because then they can use the cups for coffee after they make the noodles. So those are huge, but there's a full list of the snacks, but we always need those. Absolutely always. But again, toiletries, we have a lot of people who travel for work and they're just constantly bringing them by. And
All right. Well, I did hear, the reason I asked the question is I did hear about a few hotels that are changing their logos. And I had seen an article on the website that said, does anybody know, what we can do? So maybe that, I don't remember if it was a Marriott or what it was, but their logos were changing. And so they don't want stuff anymore. So
I hadn't heard that. That's very cool.
And find out and see if we can't get you their supply, right?
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of different states, with the pandemic, a lot of people are now having increase of homeless individuals and things along those lines. So I'm sure, it might be just statewide here to Michigan, but we could kind of check into that and see if we can't help in that way.
Absolutely. Okay. That'd be great.
Okay, so no one specific item.
No, not at all.
Snacks.
Okay. Yeah, we can usually find a use for anything, really, but anything helps.
That's awesome. Okay, now you have a golf outing coming up.
We do.
Tell us a little bit about that, when it is, how people can sign up for it.
Sure. So the golf outing is our biggest fundraiser of the year. We were very blessed to be able to squeeze it in last year. That was the only one we could have. So this year we're hoping, we obviously had to cut our numbers back last year, but we were still able to have it. This year we're hoping to go full bore again with it. It is September 25th and at Fenton Farms Golf Club there in Fenton. We are looking for golfers, sponsors, you name it, but it's just a super duper fun event because it's planned by the kids. They do everything with the golf course, so every hole has a game.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, it's just a super duper good time. So
that's amazing. Well, we'll be there.
Awesome. Yes,
We're
you
the
will.
sponsor. We're excited. I'll be there. So anything that you need, let me know too. I would love to. I love
Awesome.
going to those
Thank
things.
you. Yeah, you guys are a second-year sponsor, so
Yes.
we really appreciate that.
Hey, we appreciate you guys. And I think one of the things that you guys have been talking about throughout this whole podcast that kind of rang true in my head is that our community is just so great, and they just come together when somebody needs something. I think it's been proven in your case multiple times.
Yes.
I just kind of wanted to circle back on that because I thought that, we love our community. We try to get involved as much as we can. And I think that they just help us in any way that we can.
Absolutely. The kids have been very blessed. They are part of every chamber of commerce in the area. And with that, they, it never fails to amaze us. They could run out of, say, gloves and post it on their social media. And within 2 days, you have 3 businesses reaching out saying, we're going to do a glove drive for you. Or
See, that's amazing.
And even past that, the volunteers we get, because we can't do this on our own anymore at the level it is. So we have volunteers into our warehouse about twice a week to assemble the sacks with us. So, companies come in, sports teams, youth groups, you name it. And it's just, it never fails. They step up.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Mackenzie, that reminds me, you know who we should get? We should ask Flint United to come in and stuff some sacks. They're always looking for something to do, the new pro basketball team, semi-pro basketball team here. And
That'd
they're always
fun.
looking for ways to get involved in the community. And I bet you... I probably couldn't do it, but if we have Mackenzie call them, she'll be able to get them all to come in. She can schmooze them into coming in and stuffing some sacks. That'll be great. That'll be great.
Awesome. Okay, now I know we kind of mentioned it a little bit about your new store in Linden, but tell us the name of it, where it's at, where it's located, how people can get access to it.
Yeah. So, as I said, when we got our new building, the front space was already set up retail. So, the kids are at the age where they need jobs that pay. The Snuggle Sacks is a full-time job for them. Absolutely. So this was just a unique situation where they could open a store. So they, in the same building as Snuggle Sacks, the first 800 square feet at the road is called Giving Grace Boutique. And it's I compare it kind of to a Hallmark store. They've got everything you could imagine gift-wise, apparel, home goods. They've got some food in there, just a lot of unique local type stuff. They have spiritware, you name it, but everything can be gift wrapped. They have greeting cards, everything. And 100% of the proceeds of that store go to run the nonprofit. So it's just a way for them to finally be on some payroll where they can, have a job as a kid. And then everything else keeps Snuggle Sacks running. And in the 3 months we've been doing this, they've been able to reorder stuff that we were dangerously out of, the sacks themselves. And, a lot of those snacks that we need all the time, they've been able to restock everything and really get Snuggle Sacks back up and running again.
That's amazing. I think I actually got something from you guys. Amanda actually got it for me. A little keychain and little wallet.
Oh, yeah.
That was from you, right?
Yeah.
So cute. So you guys have so many cute things.
Lots of
People
cool
should definitely go in and shop.
It's kind of dangerous for me because the kids order everything on their own, and then every time I go to visit them, I'm like, oh God, I want everything.
Oh, that's so funny. All right, and so just to talk about the golf outing really quickly, just the date is September 25th.
It is, yeah.
And where can people sign up for that?
Right on the website, snugglesacks.org, under the event page. Everything's on there to become a sponsor, to register for golf or anything.
Okay, so let's go through a few things so we know that we have them. Give our website, the address of your new store in Linden,
yes,
the name again, and repeat the golf outing information just so everyone out there listening
Absolutely,
has it. Okay,
yes. So Snuggle Sacks, our website is snugglesacks.org. The new store and the new Snuggle Sack warehouse is located at 106 South Bridge Street in Linden. And again, the golf outing is September 25th. It's a scramble, 9 a.m. shotgun start right at Fenton Farms in Fenton.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Stacy. It's been so much fun hanging out with you, and thank you for coming to Shea.
Thank you guys so much for always having us. We really appreciate your support.
Of course.
Thank you.
Oh, that was wonderful. Hey, Stacy, McKenzie, and thank you, Stacy, for coming. Didn't want to confuse you there, but anything else you want to talk about?
Yes, I'm so glad that you mentioned it. So I think that we all know that buying a car right now is a little bit frustrating, but at Shea Automotive, we actually want to make it easy for you. So right now you can actually come into Shea and we can custom order any Chevy, Buick, or GMC vehicle that you want. So I think the great thing about this is that you can build your own dream vehicle and drive off in it in just a few weeks.
Yep. So
Awesome.
we do have GM extending the leases right now on
Yep.
any current vehicles if we don't have the inventory to meet your needs. So the game plan is come in. We'll take a look at your lease turn-in, get you prepared for turning in that vehicle, and get a date set that you can pick up your new vehicle. That's how we're managing the inventory currently.
Awesome. Yeah, because there's been a little bit of a crunch, right?
We're looking
Just a
forward.
little.
We're looking
The
forward to
COVID
the coming
strikes
months,
again.
but
Yes.
we'll get there. We'll eventually get there with a full lot of inventory.
Awesome. All right. We'll see you guys next month. Thanks
See
for
you.
coming in.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, Tracy.
All right. Today we're going to shine our guaranteed rate business spotlight on American Training Institute with Dominic Foster. And I have Dominic in the studio with me. I can't say his name, but he's here. And he's going to talk to us about what they got going on at American Training Institute. How are you today, Dominic?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. So I just met Dominic a couple weeks ago. They have a company called American Training Institute. It's right here by the back studio. And why don't you tell our listeners what you guys do over there?
All right, sure thing. So American Training Institute is a veteran-owned business. We have a lot of veterans that work for us, and our primary function is to train first responders and medical health professionals, all kinds of different classes. We have classes that are a one-day class. We have classes that are longer that lead to licensure. It ranges from medical first responder, EMT classes, paramedic, and then other classes like basic life support or CPR. We do daycare centers and schools, first aid training.
I didn't think about that. Yeah, I didn't think about the schools too, and daycare centers. That's very important that they know.
Absolutely. We it ranges all over the place. Again, for those kinds of classes, we do manufacturing plants because they have to have safety and OSHA type of training. We provide that for them. So we're kind of teaching pretty much every day of the week from morning till night.
So you basically do basic safety classes all the way up through the EMT and paramedic.
Absolutely. We train nurses and physicians too. They have to have certain certifications. We provide that. Things like advanced cardiac life support, trauma nurse core curriculum courses, pediatric advanced life support. We teach a variety of classes. That's
so cool. I guess I wasn't even thinking that you did the expanded out. I was thinking that you did the EMT training and helped. I know that you work with Patriot Ambulance, who we had on last week, and I guess I didn't even think about the extra stuff you do. Just like with them, I didn't think about them doing non-emergency services, but then. Yeah, so that's what this is all about, and that's why we do these shows so that people can get the word out of what they actually do, because our listeners are probably like me. They see it and they're like, "Oh yeah, EMT training. Well, that doesn't apply to me."
Right. Absolutely. I get calls all the time. I got a call the other day from a manufacturing plant down in Romulus, and they said, "Hey, I heard you taught a class. My wife took one of your classes. Do you guys happen to teach first aid?" We're like, "Sure do." And he was just dumbfounded. He never thought that would apply to his business because
and a lot of the places are required to have it through OSHA, right?
Absolutely.
You have to have CPR training, basic first aid. I know we had to have it at the township, and so that's good to know that they can contact. Do you guys call it American Training Institute, or do you call it ATI?
We call it both. Most of the public, they like abbreviations, but there's so many different forms of ATI. It's kind of a common initial set. So American Training Institute, or ATI, whatever floats your boat, as long as you know it's us and not a physical therapy company or some other kind of company out there. So
right. So what is it? Do you have a website?
We do. It's AmericanTraining.net, and you can go to there out of that website, and you can hit courses and look at all the things that we offer. We also have a Facebook page. It's American Training Institute on Facebook.
Okay.
And you can see all of our advertising there. That page on the Facebook page is really geared towards first responders, trying to get the message out. Everybody's hurting for staff from restaurants. Right. I mean, it's just the way it is, in the pandemic world, and responders are no different. And people forget that we're, as first responders, we have people that got COVID and they can't work, or they, maybe they're changing professions. They're You know, we've had a lot of just COVID's impact us in so many different ways.
Right.
And so, you know, we're trying to really get the word out and make sure people, you know that when you do call an ambulance, someone's there to come take care
Right.
of you, but we have to have people in order to do that. So
Right.
we're really working hard to make sure that we
Right.
offer a variety of classes. We have different days of the week, different times. We have accelerated courses. We have courses that are, you know, more of a standard traditional semester base. So we do as much as we can.
Now, is there an age range, like a typical age range for people going in to be a paramedic or?
You have to be 18 years old or older to hold a license, but we have a lot of programs. We work with high school seniors. We work with either their parents, or we work with the actual school districts. So you can take classes at 17, but you can't get licensed till you're 18. You have to have certain enrollment requirements met. But I've trained high school juniors and seniors at 16, and then as they move through, you know, the training, hopefully they get their 18th birthday as close, you know, to the day of graduation as possible, so you're not forgetting it all. But
Right. So that's cool. So they can take the class when they're young, when they're 17 or even 16, but probably 17
late
is
16
better.
is the latest.
And then get certified as soon as they turn 18.
Yep, I've had several.
That's wonderful.
I have one friend of mine actually. Him and his dad. I taught him years ago. He was 16, took his EMT class. Took his medic class when he was 17, turned 18, took both of his boards, did both classes, passed them both. Now he's a nurse and working as a nurse. You know, it's just, you know, it's that public safety, that mentality of helping other people has translated for him and a lot of people into the nursing world, and because
it's a calling.
It is.
I mean, it's how you end up there. I mean, you really have to love your fellow man to be involved in EMT, paramedic, nursing, all that, because you are there to help them.
But you don't necessarily have to have that feeling before you go to class. I can't even tell you how many dozens of people have said, I got bit by the bug. I did a job shadow and I just loved it.
Yeah.
Or they went to the fire department to do like an open house, and they, what's this about? And they go do a ride time or take a class, and they're like, I can't see myself doing anything else.
Yeah, and it's different too, because I hear, you know, people like, it's not only the helping people, but I mean, there's an adrenaline to it too, of that stressful situation just builds it up in you, and even though you're there and you're helping somebody, it's just a different feeling.
Yeah, there is a lot of adrenaline.
I don't know how to describe it.
Right, you're absolutely right. There is the adrenaline piece is there, but it's also that. So how many jobs out there, and your listeners can, you know, they go to a job. Are you completely satisfied when you punch out and go home? Right. Did you make a difference today? What you did? And for some people, they have to have that feeling of my job satisfies me. I made a difference in someone else's life, and not to knock any other professions, but you know. Oh,
you're always making a difference when you're doing this.
Even if it's something, you know, maybe do a transfer that's, you know, taking this person to a dialysis appointment. That's very impactful for that person. They don't have transportation, or they can't get out of bed, and they need to be taken this way. So a lot of people, you know, they thrive on that sense of satisfaction.
Yeah, because it's not all 911 calls.
No, it's absolutely not. That's the fun stuff, though, because you know you're really, you know.
Yeah, you're really helping somebody.
Right,
then.
and lights and sirens, and you know when you're helping that patient, you're also helping the family that's there. You know, it's people don't realize that, you know, going to that one call, that one person that's needing assistance, there's a family member there usually, or something's going on. It's very traumatic, or, you know, very scary for them. And so you're impacting not just one person's life, you're impacting all the lives of their family too.
Right. I'm always amazed at the people that go in to these professions, the first responder professions, because it is very stressful, and but it does impact so many lives. Sometimes for the good, sometimes for the bad. But you know, you only have so much control. right. But you know,
we think we don't sometimes. We play God a little bit. We thrive on that. But yes,
you try to help them as best you can and get them to, you know, get them stabilized, right? To move them. So that's it's a great profession if somebody's looking for a change, or if they're just looking to start out, right? A kid that's 16, 17, and even if you're 20 or 30 and you're looking to change careers, they can still come to your institute, right? There's no
age max.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's cool.
I just had a discussion before I came in here. There was a young lady that was looking at doing this, and she was like, I can work in the restaurant business. Everybody's hiring right now, and she's kind of debating which route should she take, stay in the restaurant field, and I said, well, are you happy working in the restaurant business? And she's like, well, it's a job.
Yeah.
So you might make more, you might have a better schedule maybe or something, but at the end of the day,
are you happy?
Are you happy? And is it a job to you, or is it a calling, or is it your profession? So
yeah, and if you have a job that you like, it's not a job.
That's right.
Right.
You love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah, exactly. And that sounds so cliche, but it's so true. My daughter's a dog groomer. She loves that. So she loves going to work. She doesn't. You don't get up the morning trying, oh my gosh, I got to get out of bed. I got to go to work. You don't get that. You get, oh man, I can't wait to get to work.
Right.
I think that's a great feeling that everybody should experience. So if you're not happy, there's training. Not only you, but everybody is looking for workers right now. I was talking to some advanced technology people. They're looking to train people, and we're going to have them on in a couple weeks. But if you're looking for a change, reach out to Dominic and the American Training Institute, and they'll help you get the training. Figure out how do you work the financials on that?
So we have several programs out there. So also, if you're interested but you're not sure, give me a call. I can get you set up with maybe a couple different ambulance providers, or maybe with a municipality. We can do a ride time day. Go check it out.
Awesome.
Go ride with a fire department or an ambulance service and see if you like it. So once you kind of do that, if you want to start moving forward to that training. So we have several programs out there. One is the Michigan Works program. So if you're unemployed or underemployed, there's monies available from the government. We are an approved provider for Michigan Works. Michigan Reconnect is another scholarship program. The Skills Scholarship that Governor Whitmer announced a few weeks ago, we're eligible for that as well. They provide up to $1,500 for training. And then we have scholarships available through ambulance services. They will sponsor somebody that wants to come in. I know Patriot, we have the Learn While You Earn program, where you can hire in, do a first responder class. They pay you to go to class. They pay for your program. They get you working from day one. So there's lots of different ways. And then for those that are maybe working as EMTs and want to go on to paramedic, we have a couple of finance companies that will work with us, give low interest or no interest loans for tuition. Awesome.
So that's awesome. So if you're want to get a hold of them, you can go to American Training Institute.net or just American Training.net.
Yep, AmericanTraining.net.
And then American Training Institute on Facebook. Right? So get a hold of them. And
our mainline telephone number is 810-600-9155.
All right, 800.
810.
Oh, God, man, I'm all screwed up today. Don't listen to me. Listen to Dominic. Give it one more time, Dominic.
810-600-9155. Or you can stop by and see us here in the Fox 103.9 building right across the hall.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so we're going to wrap it up for today and thank Dominic for coming in. And I want to remind our listeners that if you want to email us with comments or questions or talk about how I can't repeat a number from Dominic, get us at discoverflinttownship@gmail.com, or you can visit us on Facebook at Flint Township Events, and that's FLINTTWPEVENTS, and you can find out about all the events going on in our area. You can also get us on our YouTube channel or our Anchor channel. Both are Discover Flint Township. You can visit our webpage, discoverflinttownship.com or flinttownship.org. And I want to thank Dominic for coming in today. And I want to thank our partners, HAP, Shea Automotive Group, Financial Plus Credit Union, Guaranteed Rate, and 103.9 The Fox. And Discover Flint Township with us here next week at 7:30 on Sunday, right here on the Fox 103.9. This is Tracy Tucker, the Flint Township Economic Enhancement Director, and I would like to remind everyone, stay safe, stay healthy, shop local, buy local, and discover Flint Township. We'll catch you later.
This has been Discover Flint Township with Tracy Tucker. For more information, visit discoverflinttownship.com. Flint Township is ready for your next move. The preceding program was pre-recorded and was paid for by Discover Flint Township. The views expressed are those of Discover Flint Township and do not necessarily reflect the views of 103.9 The Fox or Krill Communications, Inc.